is I, Clay Morris, once again for the Amazing Great Sports Network on the Friday after Thanksgiving. Now, it seems that if you're watching this, that you have survived Thanksgiving. That's with all the gravy, all the turkey, all the stuffing, all the wings, all the legs, all the mashed potatoes, and unfortunately, some of you even had macaroni and cheese to go with that. But this means that you have okay, here we go. Here we go. Are we? Can you hear me? Okay, great. Now, this is the Friday after Thanksgiving. If you're watching this, it's the Friday after Thanksgiving, and that means you have survived Thanksgiving. I don't know if that really went over well, as far as the audio. So I'm going to repeat myself. So if I repeat myself, you listen, don't fall out of your chair. It's just that I don't know if the mic actually picked up what I said. So you have survived all the turkey, all the stuffing, all the mashed potatoes, all the cornbread, all the biscuits, and 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 coleslaw and salad. That means you're still alive. That's what I'm saying. So we're good. We're good, everybody. We're good. So let's move on. Yesterday, we had football, and the NFL had three games. Now, the first game was the most exciting game. So we're going to preview what's going to happen in the NFL for Week 12, and we're going to talk about what happened yesterday on Thanksgiving Day. Now, the first game, and the most exciting game, involved the Buffalo Bills traveling to the Motor City to take on your Detroit, my Detroit, our nation's beloved Detroit Lions. Now, the Lions jumped out early. They scored on their first drive, getting a touchdown. But the Bills, they came right back and got a touchdown of their own. On the Lions' next possession, they fumbled the ball, and the Bills took it down for another touchdown. Now, the Lions came back with a field goal, and so it was tied. No, they came back with a touchdown. It was tied. So now the game was tied. But the Bills got a field goal before halftime, and it was 17-14. Now, in the third quarter, Jeff Goff inexplicably lets himself get tackled in the end zone for a safety. And now it's a 19-15 lead. But in the fourth, the Lions took the lead 22-19 with the touchdown and a two-point conversion. Now, the Bills came back with a touchdown to make it 25-22. They missed the extra point. Detroit tied the game with a field goal, and it looked like it was going into overtime. But with 4 seconds left, the Buffalo Bills kicked the field goal and won the game. Tough luck, Detroit. And really, everybody's heart goes out to you. One of these days, next year, maybe next year, you'll be in a different position. You'll be leading the NFC Central, and everyone will be saying, go Detroit, go. But we'll see. Now, the Dallas Cowboys spoiled my prediction of them losing by defeating the New York Giants 28-20. But in truth, the game never even felt that close after halftime. You see, at halftime, they were down 17-10. But then in the third quarter, Dallas came out and scored 14 points in the third quarter and put this baby to bed. Dak Prescott, the much maligned by me, Dak Prescott, was 21 for 30 with 2 touchdowns and 2 INTs. Daniel Jones was a shaky 21 for 35 with no touchdowns and no interceptions, but it didn't matter because they were losing. And he just couldn't seem to find his receivers, couldn't seem to get out of the way of the Dallas defense when they rushed the passer, when they were rushing him. He couldn't get out the pocket. He couldn't create any distance for himself so that he could get a pass off easily. And New York, they didn't look too good yesterday. So going forward in the future, maybe Dallas is for real. I mean, because I've maligned Dallas. Whenever they're supposed to win, they lose. And whenever they're supposed to lose, they win. I don't know if they were supposed to. I think they were supposed to win. They were playing in Dallas. But I thought they would lose, and they won. Okay, the last game of Turkey Day, of Thanksgiving Day, involved the New England Patriots traveling to the Minneapolis, to play the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this game was not that exciting. I mean, it was in a sense because Justin Jefferson was going crazy, and I think he might have had like maybe 100 or 200 yards when it comes to receiving. No, he didn't have 200 yards, but he had close to it. He made a lot of great plays, a lot of great catches while he was being covered and double covered most of the time. but it was far and few in between. Kirk Cousins couldn't keep anything going, it seemed like, but they managed to get down the field. Let's just put it this way. The Vikings who were beat down by the Cowboys the week before, 40-3, actually bounced back. And they took the Patriots by surprise. They defeated them 33-26. And even though it seems like it's a high-scoring game, it was so sporadic that it was never any feel to this game. Kirk Cousins he had 3 touchdowns, 299 yards, and 1 poorly thrown interception. Mac Jones passed for 382 yards, 2 touchdowns in the loss. The Vikings won. The Vikings won because actually the Patriots are a running team, and they established everything they do off the run. And when the Vikings took away the run, the Patriots had to pass more. So even though Mac Jones had 382 yards and 2 touchdowns, it was skewed. He was passing more often than he should have or probably needed to, and that led to the inconsistency of their play and their loss. Also, with the 3 touchdowns that Kirk Cousins passed for, there was it was a run back. It was a kickoff, punt return. The Minnesota returned for a touchdown, which completely opened up the game and made it an affair that the Patriots were probably not going to win. So to make a long story short, Patriots lost. Okay, that's what I could have said that in 2 minutes. Patriots lost. Moving on. On Sunday, the Miami Dolphins will gladly welcome the Houston Texans, and we all know why. Because Houston has only won 1 game, and Miami's going to welcome them to the Hard Rock Stadium with open arms. Come on in here, Texans, please, because Houston will be looking to keep themselves in the lead for the most games lost, and this almost certainly will happen and will be an easy win for the Dolphins. My advice: stay healthy. 2 tags. This one's golden. The Cincinnati Bengals, they're going to travel to Nashville to play the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Bengals need this game to stay in the hunt for the division. They are 1 game behind the Ravens. The Titans have the division practically sold up. I think that the Bengals will come out with a sense of purpose and that the Titans won't, because what have they got to play for? I mean, really, think about it. Is it a remote possibility that the Colts or the Jaguars or the Texans are going to creep up on them and take the division lead? The answer is no, they're not. They don't have to worry about it. It's not threatened. And they're probably going to come out playing like, well, you know what? If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. Now, the 3-8 Carolina Panthers will host the 3-7 Denver Broncos. And the game, it really says, wait till next year. Now, the stands ought to be quite empty. More than likely, anybody who has the means to afford a season ticket won't be there. Why should they be? They probably, more than likely, will have given these tickets away to a relative who thinks going to the game is actually a good deal. Why? Because they're going to get the tickets for free. Got to look at the bright side of it somehow. The New York Jets, always a franchise in turmoil, will bench their starting quarterback, Zach Wilson. Why? Because Zach Wilson felt like, well, after going for 9 for 22, just 9, he completed 9 passes, 22 attempts, that he was not the reason for the Jets' loss. He went 9 for 22 for 77 yards. But he thinks that he was not the reason why the Jets lost the game to the Patriots. With the Patriots won that with 8 seconds left due to a punt return of 67 yards, something to that extent. But Wilson was horrid. He was horrid. And he said, and listen, he's been horrid both games with the Patriots. But he said to the press he was not the reason why the Jets lost. Well, it appears that head coach Robert Saleh disagrees with them. So he is sitting him down so that Wilson can rethink his statement and his thought process. Second-year player Mike Wilson will start at quarterback, and he can't do any worse than 9 completions out of 22 attempts. Now the Bears. Well, what can I say good about the Bears that would not be a lie? Nothing. In the Bears' interest, in the interest of their fans and in the team, what they should do, management should do, is sit down Justin Fields, because they've got they got a real find in this guy. Okay, this guy he's the real deal, and they don't need him getting hurt out here playing meaningless games in which doesn't mean a darn thing. Okay, they don't have any chance to sniff at the playoffs, and remotely, not in any type of sense of fashion or form, will they even be close. They shouldn't even be thinking about it. because it won't be there. And that being the case, rest Justin Fields, save your team, save your franchise player, call it a day, bada boom. The Washington Commanders will host the 5-6 Atlanta Falcons. Now, both of these two teams are clinging to the far and distant hope that a playoff spot may trickle down to them somehow, some way, someplace. But in truth, they have a better chance of finishing last in their division than they have of any of that happening. So forget about it, is what I'm saying. Okay, but I understand, okay? A game has to be played. So they just can't not show up, okay? A game has to be played, so they have to cling to some sort of thought process here, a playoff spot, because they just can't say, hey, listen, we're not going to show up. We're just going to go see the movies. We're going to go see what's ever playing at the movies. You fans have a nice day. Have a nice day. I'm thinking Washington over, the Atlanta because they're playing at home. So we're going to get that way. Okay, the Cleveland Browns will host Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday. Now, Cleveland with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, and this will probably be his last chance to start at quarterback unless Deshaun Watson comes back and gets him. But certainly understand that Deshaun Watson will be playing next week. So this might be Jacoby's last starting game for the Browns. And based upon his 3-7 performance, it might be his last starting game in the NFL. I don't think anybody's going to be kicking down his door, begging him to come play for their team as their starting quarterback at 3-7. No, they're not. So, Jacoby, I wish you well. Have a good game. I still think you're going to win. Tom Brady, on the other hand, isn't lighting up the league either. His numbers in the league, he leads the league in pass attempts, but he only has 12 touchdowns. 477 pass attempts, 12 touchdowns. Anyway, Tampa needs this game more than Baltimore needs this game. I mean, more than Cleveland's going to need this game because Cleveland's not going anywhere at 3-7. Tampa needs this game. They're at 5-5, and they need this game to stay ahead in the division. 5-5 to stay ahead. I will move on. The Tampa Bay Ravens will travel to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. And believe me, they can't wait to do this. Now, last week, the Ravens played the Carolina Panthers. This week, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next week, it's the Denver Broncos. They might as well just go to Vegas and throw some money out on the table because you can't get better luck than this. You can't hope for a better schedule unless you throw in the Raiders while you're in Las Vegas. You might as well play the Raiders and Jacksonville. And Texans and the Houston Texans. So if you throw in the Houston Texans and the Raiders, you can't get much better than this. Now, Jacksonville, after winning their 2 first games, remembered who they were. Who are we? I'll tell you who you are. You're the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're the team with the losingest record in the last 3 years. And then after they remembered that, they came and hit the ground hard. Like they face planted, skidding. That was it. It was over. From 2 games, they've only won 1 game since then, and they may not win another one this season. We can move on from that. The 6-4 Seattle Seahawks will thankfully host the 3-7 Las Vegas Raiders. Speaking of the Raiders, and Seattle is looking to bounce back from their loss to Tampa Bay 2 weeks ago. The Raiders are the perfect team for that to happen. Las Vegas has been excruciatingly terrible for 10 games, and that's not going to change now. So, fly, Seahawks, fly. The Los Angeles Chargers will travel 1 hour by plane to get to Phoenix to play the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Chargers look like a better team on paper. Justin Herbert is the quarterback. He's been throwing good. They've had good receivers. Bada boom, bada bang, bada boom, bada bang. They barely lost to the Kansas City Chiefs last week. One would think they're playoff contenders. Now, the disappointing 4-7 Cardinals have played like ugly ducklings all season. The analogy is that the Cardinals, the red, the bright, the colorful, the cheerful Cardinals, but they've been playing like ugly ducklings. Okay, Kyler Murray has been out the last 2 games, and Colt McCoy started in this way, and they've lost both games. But he is expected to start on Sunday, and this may give those Cardinals the jolt they need to fly high once again. They are playing also in Arizona, in Cardinals. So I'm going to give the Cardinals the nod to win on that one. It's going to sound like an upset to most of you. It may be an upset, but I think the Cardinals might take it. Now the New Orleans Saints. They're traveling to San Francisco to take on the rejuvenated San Francisco 49ers. Yes, the San Francisco franchise, they got their name from the gold rush of 1849. Well, it's safe to say that they have struck gold once again in Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey has completely changed this organization around, and they have won their last 3 games They won the last 3 games by putting up points in every way imaginable: passing, punting, kicking, running, crawling, whatever way that Shanahan can think of, throwing the quarterback's throwing a pass, the receiver's throwing a pass, the running back is throwing a pass. Everybody's doing something out there that's different, and they're putting up points. I don't see that changing. So San Francisco is on the roll. Put some mustard and some relish on them and enjoy it. Now, last year's Super Bowl champions, those Los Angeles Rams, those bad Rams, are traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Now the Rams are 3-7, and there is nothing good that I can say about them. That's right. The Rams have been horrid. Matthew Stafford is a game day decision. He was out last week due to concussion protocol. He got taken out of a game 2 weeks ago because they thought he had suffered concussion, and he might not be coming back. In his place, nobody knows who was playing. It was John Wolford. Then it was another. I'm not sure who's going to play. Nobody knows, and that does not bode well for the Los Angeles Rams. So, at this point, take the Chiefs. The Chiefs are top of the division. They're going to the playoffs yet again. Their defense is weak. Yes, their defense is the weak link, but they're hoping to get that fixed this game by hunting down some Rams. It's really a tough decision. The Rams who have been stumbling and bumbling, or the Chiefs who have been flying high. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Now, the 9-1 Philadelphia Eagles. That's right. I said it. 9-1. And who would have saw this at the beginning of the season? Nobody. Who would have saw Philadelphia leading the division, or forget about it? Anyway, they're going to host the 4-7 Green Bay Packers with bonus billion-dollar baby Aaron Rodgers, who season's basically a crap. It's just crapped up the season. This looks terrible, and it's whining about it, much in the same way as Zach Wilson. But the New York coach has the balls to take out Zach Wilson and sit his butt down when he says crap like that. The same should happen to Aaron Rodgers. He needs to sit down for the crap he has said about his team. It's everybody's fault, but no, Aaron, it's actually your fault in more ways than one. But we're not going to digress on that. We're going to move on, okay? There's a lot of history between the Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay have played 45 times, with the Packers winning 28 of them and the Eagles 17. But come Sunday, the Eagles should win their 18th game of the series and start a new trend. Now, finally, in the Monday night game, the 3-7 Pittsburgh Steelers will travel to Indianapolis to take on the 4-6 Colts. I don't know why. Anybody thought that this should stay as a Monday night game? They should have flexed it back to Sunday and maybe put the Chiefs and the Rams out there. I mean, there is some appeal on the Chiefs and the Rams. The Rams were Super Bowl champions last year, and the Chiefs are flying high. They are excited. They are always excited because of that magician, Pat Mahomes. So if you wanted to make the Monday night game an exciting game, you should have flexed them to Monday night and took the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts and flexed them to Sunday. They would have fit right in. But anyway, 3-7 Pittsburgh is going to take on the 4-7 Colts. Now, the story of this game is not about winning. It's not about winning. The story of this game is going to be whether first year and third week head coach Jeff Saturday can win his second game. A guy who has no NFL coaching experience at all. He didn't coach the Water Boys. He didn't coach the receivers. He didn't coach anybody in the NFL, and he was given a head coach job by the coach owner Jim Irsay, just because he was given that, just because he used to play for them, just because he used to play for Indianapolis. Just Saturday got the job as head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Not much can be said other than that's the angle. That's the angle. There's no other angle to give you other than that. Can he win his second game in 3 attempts with no NFL coaching experience? I don't know if that angle is worth watching the game. Okay, but that's all they've got, because neither one of these teams are going to the playoffs. Neither should they be thinking about it. Okay, now with that, listen, guys. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I hope you didn't eat too darn much so that you can't get up and move around and do the things you want to do. But that's all that I have for you concerning in the world of in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. You're not going to get any more out of me about the NFL, because I want to keep things positive. Okay. Of course, there's always who did what to who and how, but I don't delve into the negativity of gossip. It does no good to you or any of the parties involved. You shouldn't care about anybody else. Care about yourself. Work on you. Think about you. You. I mean, it sounds selfish, but what I'm saying is, don't worry about what's going on with other people. I mean, are you being the best person you can be? Are you opening doors? Are you being forgiving? Are you trying to be understanding? Are you looking at your own, because see, I left the cap off the toothpaste, and my shaver was on the other side of it, and this and that. And I see all kinds of things wrong with me. When I think about how bad my wife might bend to me, she didn't give me a kiss on the cheek, or she didn't say I was the greatest person since Gandhi. Okay, yeah, I mispronounced his name. Big deal. Okay, Mahatma Gandhi. What's his name? Okay, we know Miss Gandhi. Okay, but I'm talking about, she didn't. Whatever she didn't do. Okay, I still need to look at myself and say, hey, buddy, you're not the greatest. There's a lot on yourself that you can change. How about getting some of these players' names right? How about getting everything down right? How about getting everything perfect on your broadcast? Okay, worry about that, buddy. Worry about that. Get that right. So that's what I'm saying. And with that, listen, thank you for showing up. Okay, thank you for watching the program. Like, comment. Do we got any chats here going here? Is anybody chatting? Because I don't see anybody chatting. Let me check the chat thing. Okay. No one has sent me anything to chat about. So before you think about anybody else, people, okay, think about yourself. Did you send it? Did you join the chat? Did you say, hey, listen, Clay, bada boom, bada bang, and da 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 and da da? No, you didn't. Okay. So you're not perfect either. So comment, like, subscribe. Okay. And I will keep the content going with you rapid fire on every day that I can be here. From the New York Jets to the New England Patriots to the my Tampa Bay Buccaneers and my Detroit Lions. My two favorite teams right now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Lions. I will keep it going. I will give you angles that nobody else is going to give you. I will be honest. Okay? And with that, I would say enjoy your Friday. Have a good Friday, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Concentrate on what is beautiful, what is good, and what is noble. Seek to uplift your brother and your sister up, not put them down. So with that, I bid you again, happy Friday. Now go forth and prosper. And go USA, as today you take on the United Kingdom in the World Cup. Go USA, 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 USA. Good night, everybody. Oh, wait a minute.